Thank you for watching MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. I am Frank Trigg in Las Vegas, Nevada, and that is Tom Kong Watson. Are you in California? You in Albuquerque? You in Atlanta? Are you in England? Where the hell are you right now?
I'm in California on the West Coast, training out here at Rain, Mark Munoz's gym. So
How's that been?
pretty good. I've actually been out here for about a year, and when I first came out here, I went to Albuquerque, obviously still a little bit, and then I went to Atlanta to train with Stan a bunch. So the last fight, I pretty much did my whole camp out here, and it worked really well. So same again for this fight. So.
Yeah, not bad. That last fight was Nedkov, right? Didn't you knee him to the gut or something? He fell down.
Yeah, back and forth. Yeah, dropped me, took me down, just brawled it really, and just basically clinched him and kneed and elbowed him really till his juice ran out, I think.
Before we talk about Thialis Latis, rather, can we talk about Brad Tavares for a minute? That was your last loss, a split decision. What do you think went wrong during that fight for the loss?
Not a lot, really. I just think it was about playing a game, and I just think he fought a smarter fight. He fought how you need to win a fight in the UFC, and get a takedown each round, and tactically, I just went into that fight just to have a war really and have an exciting fight, and that's really most of the time how I try and fight. And he did that in periods, and then just mixed in a few takedowns and scored the rounds well. So I look back on it, it doesn't really bother me. The UFC, yeah, you need to win and this and that, but it's not really my thing. So
speaking of your thing, backwards hat, big sunglasses, a big dollar sign on your chest, like that's your gimmick, like that's your shtick when you're going for weigh-ins and you're at the fights. But this is the guy that I talk to when I talk to you. This is like the guy I'm getting. How come you have two different personalities when it comes to this?
Well, I mean, that's my picture on Sherdog, but I mean, I've only worn that chain once, so I guess Sherdog, made it forever infamous. But it's just entertaining to me. I like to entertain. Obviously, when I started MMA, it wasn't popular in England, and to get people to come to a lot of fights, I tried to do these things and make it exciting. So a lot of people used to come to my fights, and just really for what stupidity I would do before the fight. So.
Well, you even wore the King Kong mask out a couple times. He wasn't like you just did that work, the hat and the chain one time. You did a bunch of other kind of half nutty stuff. How come you don't really do that stuff anymore? Is it just don't need to?
Well, I mean, if people if people go on my YouTube channel, Tom Kong Watson, there's numerous videos every week that there's, I think pretty stupid things. So it's still going on.
Perfect. All right, let's talk about your opponent coming up. Break him down for us as what you see when you're breaking him down to get ready to fight him.
Well, I mean, the obvious, he's super dangerous on the ground. I think he's 20-4. I think maybe 16 submissions. He's not just a jiu-jitsu guy, a world champion guy. He's a guy that's finishing people in MMA and, went all the way to the top of the middleweight division last time he was in the UFC, had a decision off to Anderson in not a great fight that didn't please the UFC, and then another decision loss followed, and then, subsequently cut. So, really, if you even look at him being cut from the UFC, arguably hasn't really, had that many bad performances to get cut. So, it's a good fight coming back. I asked for a bigger name. I've been trying to get a top 10 guy, which understandably the UFC need to see more wins. And I think for me, outside of that, this is one of the bigger names that, presents a problem that a lot of people will be interested to see. If I can stop his game, which arguably is jiu-jitsu.
Now, you obviously ran with Munoz. That goes a long way. But you came to the States. You could have gone anywhere. You could have lived in New Mexico. You could have lived in Atlanta. You could have lived in Vegas. Why did you choose California and Rain to stay at when it all came together?
Well, I've been in New Mexico for like 4 or 5 years. I've traveled different places, but I just like California. I just wanted to be somewhere where I could live, and MMA is my job and it's what I like to do. But you need a life outside. And when I was early 20s, I can live in the desert. I can live with nothing to do. But midlife crisis turned the corner, and I needed to be in California and somewhere just exciting to live. I just like living here, and plus, you mentioned there's a lot of great training partners from me out here as well. So
you're like 29 or something, right? I mean, you're not.
No, I'm 31 now.
You're like 14. You're like 14. You know about midlife crisis? What the hell are you talking about?
Look, I've had an extremely hard life, and I've aged drastically. So 31, looking on 53.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll go with that one. Midlife crisis, my ass. You just went out there because you knew that more girls would be in bikinis all day long. That's not why you chose that.
Don't let the secret out.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. All right. Well, what else? You said you had to move to California because that's where you like to be, the way you like to do your stuff outside. What do you do outside of the sport that you like to do so much that California provided for you?
Well, I mean, great weather, obviously. We won't talk about the women you just mentioned, but golf. It's just
golf. Did you just say golf?
I'm into golf now. Yeah, I started playing golf. Yeah.
What the golf? Like, why? Well, okay. I guess start in Scotland. You're England. Okay, I get it. I kind of get.
It's my next career. It's my next career. When I leave MMA, I'm gonna try and hit the senior tour. So.
Yeah, you better hope you make a lot of money in MMA because golf is very, very expensive to start.
I'll just get some sponsors from Hugo Boss, someone like that. They'll obviously look to align themselves with someone like myself. So
I like the way you think. What brought you into golf though? You could have done anything else. Why golf? Is it just
just to get out? Like active rest, walking around,
okay.
drink a few beers, play a bit of golf. It's a good time.
You like hitting a little white dimply ball, chasing it, hoping you can find it again?
I love it. It's the best way to spoil a good walk, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I've never thought of it that way. I have a really hard time. I can't. I tried golf. Don't like it. It's too slow.
It's the most frustrating game I've ever played, which is probably why, I started playing it. Just addicted to trying to get good at it.
Okay. How often do you play a week in training camp?
Twice, maybe.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Geez, that's a lot. That's a lot of golf during training camp. What do you do? How much do you play outside of training camp?
Oh, about the same. Not much more. Well, I'll just drink when I play. That's
the difference. Instead of just having water, you're having a couple of pints on the way through.
Yeah, at least one drink every hole.
Oh, smart. So your 18th hole is your best hole.
Yeah.
Usually right on par at that one. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm on fire by then.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on here, Tom. I really appreciate you coming on MMA Oddsbreaker. Good luck against Latis. I'm interested to see how this fight comes out because to me, he's a great ground guy. You're a great stand-up guy. Who's going to put it where they want is the guy's going to win the fight.
What's your actual prediction for the fight?
Well, the last time I saw him, I haven't looked at him fight as of late. The last time I saw him fight, he didn't look very good at all. And this is outside the UFC. I wasn't impressed by him too much, and his takedown game is still very, very, very lacking. So if he can't get you to the ground, he can't do anything to you. If he puts you on your back, you're screwed. If you get on top of him and decide to jump in guard and kind of just lay there, you're going to get killed because he has a really good game of playing from his back when a guy's not really doing much damage to him. But if you try to beat the crap out of him all the time, he'll fold like a top because he can't take the heat of a guy that wants to put a lot of pressure on him. He just can't do it. So I see you winning a long, drawn-out decision if you can maintain the pace of where the fight goes when you want to put it there.
All right, there's my game plan right there. You just uncovered it for me.
I'm glad. Mark and I talk all the time, so he broke it down for me.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom. We'll talk to you soon, bud.
All right. See you, buddy. Bye.